And welcome back to episode 6 of ArdroTech. Trying a voiceover after recording video this time because, well, my microphone wasn't on when I recorded this, so we're going to try it out this way for a while. I'm standing at the top of my expanded base now. You can see there a silverwood tree, kind of a relaxation viewpoint garden. Small bit of cactus farm. I'll do something with that later. And this platform will eventually be a wool farm with all the sheep of different colors. You can see it's just one layer of grass well above the forest floor. Right now I am getting set up, making a linking book so that I can go to the shared base, create a portal there with some crystal, and just have some fun with the sheep. That sounds really wrong, but it's not that way. It's just fun to push them through portals and see where they end up. You can see up there, I just cut it. That is the crystal portal. Just regular Mistcraft crystals like you saw from the mining age last episode. Or the episode before, I don't remember at this point. And there's the recipe for the receptacle. You make one of those, attach it to your portal frame, and choose your book and put it in. And it will create a portal, just like that. Now that's a portal leading back to where I created it in my base, right outside the sheep pen. And for some reason I threw it in, and about this time I start describing the colors. Every time you put the book in, it changes color. The portal itself changes color, so if you don't like the color, you just replace the book, and it should stay that way until it's replaced again. There we can see I went and put the wrong book back in. Gotta fix that now. You have to apparently pull out the book with an empty hand. I tried to right-click it with an egg and it didn't work. Got the proper base book this time. A little bit of a fence there so they can't get out in the wrong direction. And one of them instantly comes out. I try to get a couple more to follow or push them out, and well, that doesn't work too well, so I just kind of give up and try it out with the two that are here, and the portal doesn't work. I thought maybe it just needed to fall farther, but spent a couple minutes figuring it out, and here you can see I renamed the book. It needed to be modified at a link book modifier and allow interlinking so it can warp to the same age, which is not a default option. So then I try to push a couple more sheep out after seeing that they did get teleported. And then I get tired of that and bust out the sapphire axe, which I use to just cut the fence open entirely. After this, it's a lot easier for them to get out and follow me, so I just slowly back out the door. Oh, I forgot I made the back door even bigger. And then all the sheep just come on out and get pushed in or fall in, and after I think I have enough, I head back in and try to repen the ones that are left. Their sheep are very, very stubborn, it seems. Got the fence down, or the gate down. Another sheep decides to just jump on through, or out there anyway. And so does the other one. So I leave him out and just fix the fence on its own. Let somebody else deal with it later and jump on through. Very quick way back to my base. As you can see, the most of the sheep added in the pen. Some of them didn't. Gonna go out and collect those now. Seems they're a lot more cooperative after having just been transported several hundred blocks away in an instant. So there I was telling everybody else that I was doing a recording. Got all the sheep back in. And that's just all the 16 different wool colors, which are going to be, each sheep can be dyed with just a regular dye, and when it gets sheared, that's the color of wool that comes off of it. So I just make a couple small pens here. And of course, it wouldn't be right if I didn't misplace at least one bit of fence. So after that, I drop down a deployer, which will have a pair of shears in it, and then a transposer on top. Get them to face the inside of the fence, which is technically a 1x1, but the fences have less than a 1 block width, so there's a little spot to move around in there. And the whole contraption gets powered by a piece of red alloy wire. The deployers get activated by that. Later on I'll show you the full setup. There's some redstone pneumatic tubes and a timer and a redstone repeater. The transposer there on top, when it gets a redstone signal, will suck up a 3x3 area around it. So it'll get the wool off the ground or anything that's up to one space above it on any side, or any direction from the suctioning side. And apparently my description this time's a little faster than last time. Apparently there's less rambling since I'm not trying to multitask at the moment. And here I'm in the mining age for something. I think we found something big, so I just spliced it on the end of the recording. I'm thinking we found another spawn dungeon, or a Thaumcraft dungeon, so I'm going to assist them, Altari and Ardro, trying to help them clear it out and get their items back. Those dungeons are very, very scary if you're not prepared and don't have proper weapons and armor. Just realized my frame rate was really terrible for this recording. I must have had something running in the background or messed with the wrong setting again. There's some rather large crystal and glowstone formations, some of the largest I've seen. And This spot of stone is naturally spawned. I assume it was a failed ravine or something. Since it's a flat land, it couldn't actually dig down there. There might be a ravine under there somewhere, but I haven't dug there at all yet, so I'm not sure if there is something down there. I might put a quarry there or something someday. I have walked by several Buildcraft oil pools. Those are all 1 deep, so not worth marking or mentioning or even bothering to pull the oil out at this point. Those flowers are cinder pearl pods. When you break them, they drop a blaze powder, so you don't need to head to the nether to find blazes to get blaze rods to grind down or break down. And apparently that grass was something offensive to me. Seems this is where I decided to set up my mining age base. It's right next to a Thaumcraft dungeon. I do have plans for that in a future episode. I haven't figured out exactly how that's going to work yet. And here I'm back at the sheep farm, fully completed. 1 barrel for each color of wool, connected to all of the transposers. You can see the redstone pneumatic tube there. And we just happened to get on top of that when the timer ticked and sheared the sheep and picked up all the wool. You can see the barrel of extra shears there, and there is a pair of shears in each of the deployers on the bottom. That bit of wool you saw sitting on the ground there will get picked up on the next cycle. I have a lever there to shut off the timer when I need to. The timer is set to a 1 minute interval, so every minute it'll pulse. It'll instantly shear the sheep. And send the same pulse to the right side where the redstone repeater was. That is the red power version. It has slightly more settings. Yeah, that will delay the signal, put it out through the redstone wire on the right side, up through the redstone, or the stone jacketed wire, which is able to be freestanding. It's also stitched to the bare wire, which it will not connect with normally, which is also connected to the redstone tube, transferring the pulse to the transposers, picking up all the wool. That looks like it's an 8-tick delay, so it's not significant. It's just long enough to make sure the sheep are sheared first. And then as it picks up the wool, it puts it all the way down the barrels. Up here I get to show how it's done. Pick up the jacketed wire and the piece of alloy. You can see it does not automatically connect until I take the other wire, right click on the ground beneath it, and poof. That is, the wire is now indirectly connected to the tubing and can now receive a signal from pretty much any redstone source available. The wool is also sorted by the order that they appear in NEI, which if you were to use a red power computer, makes it easier to figure out the number required to activate a particular wire. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, it's more like 1, 2, 8, 16, all the way up through maybe 10, 24 or higher, 16,000, something like that. But it's not been running long, and you can see there's, well, the better part of half a stack of each wool there. And this thing is fully automatic until the shears run out. You should get 5 or 6 stacks of each color wool before then. If the timer pulses and the sheep hasn't regrown its wool, it does not use durability damage on the shears, so there's no worry there. You can see even with as much wool as there was, there's very minimal durability damage taken on the shears. I take my shortcut down, and this is the flower farm. It's coming along nicely. I managed to get the purple flowers. I think they're tulips, I'm not entirely sure. A couple cyan flowers, which give you cyan dye instead of purple or yellow or red. Just like that. That one managed to give me 6 dye. Oh, and there's some weeds. Those will completely overrun any nearby crops, and it spreads more quickly than I'd like. It happens quite frequently when you're trying to crossbreed a couple of plants, a pair of plants. So until they actually take root, you have to keep a close eye on them. You just place 2 crops on the same block, and those 2 squares are now ready to crossbreed the plants on either side of them. It is possible to set up plants on all 4 sides, and each one has the chance to jump over to the center block. There's better setups for crossbreeding, but the one I have is quite simple. You can see some of my chests are starting to get quite full. There's a decent bit of resources collected already. It's entirely manual at this point, so I don't have a lot, but it's a fair amount considering how little I actually go out and mine. And with that, we've covered everything that was in the episode. You can see we've run out of actual video footage, so I'll see you for the next episode. Should be lots more exciting stuff there. It'll probably also be a voiceover because I think I messed up the audio on that one as well, so we'll see you next time.